Do you want me to start? Do you want me to start?
You can start. Didn't I start last time?
I think so, but I don't really know. We're like touching knees, so it's kind of romantic. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Double Time Podcast. I'm Double, and he's Vision, and together we're Double Vision. I'm Ryan Rain, and he's Noah Strikes, and together we're a band called Double Vision, where we make music and write songs. That is usually how you start making music.
And film our own videos, and market ourselves, and do everything else.
Yet we're still not industry plants, which is very sad.
Yeah, and surprising.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. Well, we got a lot of interesting stories for you today. But first, I want to say I love the way you look.
Thank you. I love the way you look.
I feel like you just say that to make me happy, but... Welcome back to the only podcast where I try to confess my love for him, and he thinks it's a joke. Anyway, we got some stories for you today. We took a little break from our album. We took about 2 weeks off.
Yeah, we needed a little vacation.
We've been working on this album for about, 8 or 9 months straight now. So...
Yeah.
We decided that we were both going out of town anyway, so we thought it'd be good to just not look at the album. We needed some sort of break from it.
Yeah. We've been going nonstop. We needed a little bit of a break.
So I decided to go to LA.
As you do.
As one.
Sorry,
well,
I
okay.
won't. Yeah.
You really interrupted my story.
Sorry.
Well, it was. I mean, I liked LA. I love LA, but it was actually for a short film premiere. My friend Kalini, our cinematographer for pretty much everything we do. She's my best friend, and she supported Elle Mills. If you know who Elle Mills is, she was a YouTuber. I don't think she makes videos anymore, but she had her first real directing debut on a short film that she wrote and created and everything. And so Kalini supported her through Patreon or one of those kinds of things to make the film. And so she got some tickets to go to the premiere in a little theater that had the cast and crew and some of the other people who paid for this kind of experience. And so we went to LA for the weekend, and it was pretty cool. So let me tell you about that. So we went to LA. I feel like that is how usually these things start. You usually go to...
Yeah, you go to somewhere cool.
Drive. We drove there. Yeah. It was 6 hours. Gotta love LA, driving,
It was 6 hours?
It was about 5, 6. Got my 2010s playlist going on. We did finish the playlist. It is a 6-hour playlist, so... it's all the classics, though, It's no Double Vision, but what are you gonna do about it? That's on the '80s album, of course.
Yeah, it's not out yet.
But we got there. We stayed with my uncle because he lives in LA, and he lived 15 minutes from where the theater was. So it was crazy how it actually ended up so nice. That's nice. We didn't have to buy a hotel, and this was during the Super Bowl weekend. So hotel rooms were $1,600 a night, and we don't really got that kind of money.
Yeah.
So it was either
Yeah, the Mistletoe Love royalties haven't hit yet. It's only February, and District is on a 3-month delay, so we'll get those next month. But yeah, as of right now, it's not in the budget.
But so we stayed with my uncle. It was really cool. We love him. He's also a filmmaker, so it's cool to be doing that myself and be able to talk to him about film stuff that normal people wouldn't understand because they don't make videos. So we stayed with him in his little place, and it was kind of cool in LA, of course, as it is. In LA.
Where were you again?
We were in LA.
Oh.
Yeah, which is part of California, as opposed to the other LA, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, if we didn't get the $1,600, if we had to pay for a hotel, we wouldn't have, and it would have actually been a one-day, we turn around after the film is done.
Yeah,
that would have been awful, because we left on Saturday, and we came back on Sunday. It was only one night there, but we would have left Saturday morning and come back probably, Sunday morning, nonstop driving through the night. So it would have been really bad if that happened. But luckily... my uncle saved the day, kind of.
Shout out, Unc.
Shout out, Unky.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who you are. As opposed to the other uncles out there watching. This one is for my uncle only. But anyway, so we got to the film premiere that night. We drove in that morning. And it was pretty cool because I've never been to a film premiere, especially something this small. Because it was just the cast and crew and 4 other people. But it was this small theater in LA, of course.
Oh, it was in LA?
It was in LA.
Oh, okay.
And we're all sitting down because we got there 30 minutes early. That was when the doors opened. And it was this cool little small theater. It wasn't a big name. This was probably maybe 100 seats, if even. And so it's kind of awkward because it's nobody knows each other. All the cast and crew does, but we're just there. We supported this. We know the director. And I don't know anybody. But Kalini's there next to me, and she's like, "Oh, all these are YouTubers. All these popular YouTubers that she grew up watching." So that was kind of cool to see her reaction because I didn't know any of them. They're all I was a gaming YouTuber. I've watched, from Captain Sparkles and the Minecraft YouTubers. And so she was it was cool to see all these YouTubers there. But, it's probably 10 minutes until the premiere starts. And the lights are getting dimmed. and like the seats are almost filled, and I look over Cleanie's shoulder, and like walking up the steps is Joshua Bassett, which I'm like,
why was he there?
So Joshua Bassett. I don't know if I can share this. I got the inside scoop.
Oh, okay. Where was this again? It was in LA.
This was in LA.
Oh, okay.
This was in LA. No, but Joshua Bassett was friends with one of the actresses in the film, so I'm pretty sure it was one of the actresses. I hope it was one of the actresses, otherwise I got my information wrong. But like, I definitely didn't expect him to be there because I found out afterwards that he was like friends with one of the girls, so that was kind of cool.
Okay.
But like, he was the only person I knew there, so I was like, that's Joshua Bassett over there. That's
cool.
So that was kind of cool. And then the film started, it ended, and it was pretty cool. I like the film. I don't know if I can actually talk about what it was. It was a LGBT film about two women, and I really liked it because I feel like there's not enough representation with that kind of thing. And it was very much a coming of age film, and it was filmed in like an early 2000s aesthetic, which I know Cleanie loves a lot. And I mean, it looked really cool, like especially the costume design. They really like fit the 2000s kind of look. And I would love to do that for something someday for one of our videos or one of our projects, because it was just like, it had such a specific look to it that was like grainy a little bit, but it was just vibey 2000s. And so the film finished, and then we had this little after party outside of the theater. And I mean, sadly, I did not talk to Joshua Bassett. I was a little scared. I kind of wish I did talk to him. But he's like one of those people where it's like, you're so famous that it's like, if you talk to him, it's like he knows why you're talking to him. Like, and I'm definitely not someone, I would never be like, can I get a picture with you? Because I feel like that's so weird. And I would never want, not that I'm famous, but like, I would never want someone to come to me and be like, hey, can I get a picture with you? Well, not. I probably would.
At least, well, just I think the fact that it was just like an intimate event like that with just friends. It
wasn't like a meet and greet, and it wasn't about him.
Yeah, that's not.
So it would have been weird to be like, hey, I'm someone who doesn't know you, and I don't know anyone here. Actually, like I'm here from out of town.
Yeah,
but
I recognize you because you're you. So can we get a
I recognize you because you're famous. So can I like? So I was like, he's here with friends. I don't want to be like that guy. So I didn't talk to him, but we did get to talk to Elle Mills, which was really cool because Cleanie showed her one of our films that we did in the past, and she like recognized me. So that was like one of those crazy moments where it's like, this person like does stuff in the real world.
Which one did she shoot? Which one?
One of my short films called Ryan's Ryan from high school.
Okay.
Which was like, it was all right. I mean, it was a 2-person film, and it has like animation in it. It was like a crazy thing that we worked on, but like when she saw me, it was crazy because she was like, are you the guy from the video that I saw? And I was like, yo, because you saw that like 2 months ago. That's crazy.
That's cool that she remembered.
Yeah, so she was super cool. We love her. Like, she's literally the nicest person. Like, there's like celebrities that are like, you've heard the story, celebrities, but she was like, well, one, that she recognized me, but also she was just like, of course, take a picture with me. Like, I can't believe you came out here. We told her we drove from like 6 hours away, and she's like, are you serious? Like, that's crazy. How'd you get through all that?
Yeah.
But like, she was literally the nicest person. We saw Mikey Murphy. He's another filmmaker on YouTube. He was one that I actually kind of recognized because Cleanie showed me his videos before, and I love his stuff too. But like, we talked to him, we talked to the main actresses, and they were so nice. Like, they were the nicest people. Like, she shook my hand. She's like, what's your name? And like, what do you do? How are you here? And like, just everyone that worked on that set was like the nicest people. And so then we stayed the night. We drove home. We went to brunch. And that was pretty much, that was my weekend.
Is there anything you can share about the brunch?
It was drag brunch. It was
fun
at a place called Hamburger Mary's. Fun. And there were some drag queens that kind of killed it. And I got to tip some. And
can we put the video of that in?
We can put the. Okay. I'll put the video here because that was
okay.
Because there was some crazy, like, I loved. It was my first drag brunch ever, but damn, they killed it. And I got a Shirley Temple.
As you do.
As one does, because they did have bottomless mimosas, but sadly, I'm not old enough yet. But I would always kill for a Shirley Temple. That it went so hard too. They like made good Shirley Temples, but that's the most memorable part of the trip, of course, was the Shirley Temples.
Yeah.
And so then we drove home. We listened to the Disney classics, and we got home really late. And that was pretty much my weekend. That could have been like any other weekend, but instead I spent it in L.A. Of course, I spent it in L.A. So where were you while I was in L.A.?
Dude, I was in Utah. Well, I didn't know you were going to L.A. for that short. I thought you were going for a while.
I wish we could have stayed longer.
Yeah.
But because of school and because of work and everything, we were like, let's just we need this little tiny trip. And honestly, it was kind of nice because it was so short and we just got to like enjoy the time we were there.
Yeah.
But then like we got back and we really like didn't miss anything. Like we got back into the swing thing. It was like it was almost like a day trip, but like it wasn't.
because I missed a lot of stuff. I was gone for almost 2 weeks. I went to Utah to see my friend Gavin before he leaves for Peru on his 2-year mission. He's leaving next week when we're recording this, so he's probably gone, but he's definitely gone by the time this comes out.
Definitely gone by then.
Yeah. So it was good to see him and his family. We snowboarded. I got my own snowboard this year. In the past, I rented because I snowboarded when I was little, but last year was like my first year back, but I just rented because I didn't really want to buy a board yet. I didn't know if it was going to be something I continued to do, but I dropped a bag on a board irresponsibly this year. I am now broke because of it.
So now we're roommates.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm actually living with him. Yeah. No. I wish. That'd be fun.
It would be fun.
It'd be fun.
We get a lot.
We get a lot more done.
We could be really productive.
Yeah,
we get really productive.
Yeah, with kissing.
We get really good at kissing.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I dropped a bag on a board. I drove up, 7-hour drive, not the funnest, but it's worth it. Freezing in Utah. It was like 10 degrees there, and we would drive up to the mountain every day and just shred. It was fun. Just chill, relaxing. It's like the middle of nowhere up there, so it's really peaceful and just like nice to get away. And then we flew to South Carolina to see my mom. She moved there last winter, and that was good because my mom wanted to see Gavin as well before he left. We went to a lot of different shops and restaurants and walked around and had great food. The food there is crazy. Saw the beach, went in the freezing cold water. I wish we could have brought our skimboards and skimboarded because the tides there are really nice. It's really flat beaches, so it's good for skimboarding.
No, yeah, because you showed. I got some videos of the beach, and it's like, it's a cool place.
No, it's sick. It's like, it gets really foggy there all the time for some reason. I think in the winter, I don't know if it's exclusive to winter, but when I was there in December with my girlfriend, it was really foggy like that too. Probably, I think it was more foggy this time, but it's really ominous and like gray. I'll put the video up, and yeah, it's really just a cool vibe being there, and like no one was there because it's freezing, so it was like deserted, which is cool.
That's the one thing like I was sad about, that we didn't get to go to the beach because it was like an hour away from where we were.
Yeah, no, you gotta come with me to South Carolina, or at least visit in the summer.
Oh yeah,
because it's sick. And I had a little encounter with a couple fellows at the farmer's market. So we're at this farmer's market. It's like a grass square. It's in like the middle of town. Yeah, shout out Smithy's Radio.
Shout out Smithy's mugs.
Yeah, Smithy mugs.
Smithy's Radio.
Coming soon if you guys want them. We'll put them out. I think we kind of need to establish Smithy's Radio more, but in due time. Anyway, so we're at this farmer's market, and there's tents all around, people shopping. Cool. It's vibey, sunny day, nice. We're walking around, and I see these two guys kind of like eyeing me, my mom, and Gavin, and I'm like, okay. I mean, they could be shopping. Yeah.
Maybe they're taking the same path as you, like they're shopping.
Yeah. And they're kind of like shadowing us behind us. And I'm like, okay, maybe they're just, on the same path as us, looking around. And then we decided to completely 180 just because we wanted to go to a different shop, like a different tent area. And they 180'd with us too. And I was like, okay, like something's going on here.
Yeah.
So I kept looking back at them like, what's good? Like, what's going on? They weren't looking at us, but I could definitely tell they were looking at us. And then my mom kind of got ahead of me and Gavin. So me and Gavin were together, like, behind my mom. Like, probably, like, 20, 30 feet behind my mom. And this scraggly guy comes up to us. He, like, has, like, messy hair, like, scraggly beard, wrinkled clothes. Just, like, not that, I don't want to be that guy, but just not that presentable of a person. Like, kind of sketchy. And he comes up to me and Gavin, and he goes, "Are you guys in high school here?"
Which is a weird question to ask someone.
Like very weird.
No matter what you're gonna say after that, you should not lead with, "Are you in high school?"
Yeah, and we were both in sync. We were both like, "No," and then he goes, "Are you guys in college?" And then I kind of I was like, "All right," like I kind of stepped up and I was like, "Why?" Like, what's good? I didn't say what's good, but I was like, "Why?" And you could tell I was like, what's going on? And he like backs up. And then my mom turns around. He's like, "Noah, it's a Southern thing. Like, relax." And you could tell he was like, and I kind of felt bad, but like, I don't know. Just like you lead with, "Are you in high school?" Like, I don't know. Like, what do you expect? And so anyway, he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. are you not from here? I was like, no, I'm from Phoenix. And he's like, oh, okay. I didn't know. I just wanted to talk to you about Jesus. And I was like, oh, like, okay, whatever. Like if you know what I mean?
Like you can approach someone like that and not say, "Are you in high school?"
Yeah.
Like I don't see what like the connection is.
Yeah. Like if we were to say yes, what would the follow-up question
Like
be?
if you were in high school or college, like is that like, oh, now I can?
Yeah. Like
there's so many other ways to approach that.
yeah.
Kind
If
of
he had come up to us and was like, "Hey, are you guys religious? Like, do you know anything about Jesus?" It would have been
something
like, okay,
related at least.
yeah, something like
if in high school.
Yeah.
Is religious like
yeah.
what?
Yeah, like what did you expect us to react? Like I don't know. So then I was like, oh, okay. I kind of felt bad because I was like, a little bit like
you're about to beat up this man.
well, just like what's good. I'm here with my single mother and my friend. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
And he's like, are you guys in high school? Like, no. I'm like, what are you doing? And then his friend who was more appropriately dressed, he had on a nice vest and khakis and dress shoes, was like, he was more like, oh, sorry guys, like, we didn't know. And even Gavin, because Gavin, should I say that he's Mormon? I don't think that's...
Guys, don't tell anyone.
Well,
Gavin is Mormon.
Well, I don't want to, okay, whatever.
Well, no, Gavin, yeah. He's
okay.
religious.
My friend Gavin is Mormon, and he's religious, and like on his missions, when he goes and they want to go up to talk to people about the gospel, he told me they have to be in uniform, they have to have their hair combed, their hair short, and they have name tags that say like Jers. I can't speak. They have name tags that say the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So like what's up.
Like when they approach you, you're like, I know what I'm getting into right now.
Yeah, like
it's
I
not
know
like
who you are.
Some scraggly man saying, "Are you in high school?"
Scraggly dude in a ball cap saying, "Hey, you guys in high school here?"
Like,
so that was interesting, and I kind of felt bad, like I said, but also like, what did you expect? Like, at least just be like, "Hey, do you
this
guys...
can't be the first time he's doing this."
I know, and what person is like, what kid is like, "Yeah, I'm in high school."
I'm in high school. A creepy man.
Yeah.
Tell me more. Like
yeah.
What?
Like no. Yeah. It's not a Southern thing, dude. Like
that's not a. That's a.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Man.
That's yeah. So that was interesting, and even Gavin, all of us were weirded out. Like what the hell? Like
yeah.
what?
Like just not
like,
what you
what was
expect
the
to
point
happen
of
at the farmers market.
Yeah. And the fact that they were like shadowing us like that for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
dude.
that's also
we're walking
weird.
around. Like,
like
at least just come up to us. Like,
just do it right away.
Yeah.
Why do you have to wait?
Yeah,
For
and,
like the
and
moment?
he's walking like acting like he's not looking at us.
Oh, look at these strawberries!
Yeah.
Like
it was very very weird. So that was a thing. And then about 24. This is also another crazy thing. About 24 hours before our flight was supposed to leave, it got canceled, and I had work the next day when I got back, like from South Carolina. So I was, we were in a little bit of a panic mode. We kind of just got emailed like, "Hey, your flight's canceled," and there wasn't even a reason in the email. It was just like, "Hey, your flight's canceled." So, because the reason it's sketchy is because we were flying from South Carolina to Vegas, not Phoenix, because I was driving from Vegas back to Phoenix. So it wasn't just like, oh, if we can at least get back to Phoenix, we're good. It was, no, I have another 5-hour drive from Vegas. So luckily we were able to get another flight. We cut it close, and we kind of trimmed off a day, but I was able to make it back. We were able to make it back. And yeah, that would have been bad, but it turned out all right. Vegas is also a very depressing place. Have you ever been to Vegas?
I've been there at least once. I've been there a couple times, but like I usually go on the Strip. Like it was like a trip to.
Okay, because we stayed at the Paris Hotel, and we had to Uber from the airport. Okay. Yeah, like at like 10 p.m. at night, like very sketch.
When
it's Vegas at night, like sketch.
That's the place to be.
Yeah, yeah. And on the Super Bowl weekend too, because our trips were like in sync. So Super Bowl weekend, Vegas, like sketchy,
yeah,
bad. So we had to Uber from the airport. It took us like 20 minutes to find the driver because the parking garages in Vegas are laid out super bad, and they have like a designated Uber area where you go. It's not like pick your pinpoint and he'll show up there. It's like, no, you have to go to this place or else you're not getting a ride. So we had to find the place. The elevator took us to the wrong level like 3 times. Like Gavin literally hit the level for the Uber place, and it was like,
no,
yeah,
no.
And eventually we got there, and our guy was pissed. You could tell he was like literally first thing he said to me, he was like, "First time," and I was like, "Yeah," and then he was like, He was like, when you get to the hotel, like they have separate Uber areas. Like you have to go to there and then call for the Uber. Don't call and then go there because people don't like that. They'll leave you. And I was like, okay, yeah, thank you for not leaving me. Like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And then so we get to the hotel and we walk in. Reeks of weed and cigars,
which is another reason I do not like Vegas because
I don't like Vegas.
I can't stand the smell of.
It was very
cigarettes.
pretty driving through the strip at night.
Oh yeah, I mean the lights are it's beautiful.
I had been there during the day and I was like, okay, this is kind of like whatever, like it's a city. Yeah. But you get there at night, it's sick. Like the architecture, the lights, the cars, it's sick. You go into the hotel, it's a different story. You got drunk people, you have people with the giant like tubes of alcohol. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like. You know, people
it's
smoking joints outside.
It's a very different vibe.
Yeah, it's very depressing. And I walk in, and there's instant just slot machines, obviously, right at the front of the hotel.
Yeah.
And I swear there's NPCs there, bro. Literally, like, it's like...
Not a thought behind those eyes.
No, dude, it's so creepy. And they had these at the airport, too. The same exact situation at the airport. Like, just an area of slot machines, and just people sitting at the slot machine just, like... spamming the button.
Damn, that's kind of scary though.
It's very like it's like dystopian.
It's like kind of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like
it's just and the thing's just spinning and they're just glued to
it. It seems kind of fun.
Yeah, it's very fun and cool and losing money and such. So me and Gavin are both. We walked in the hotel.
So you don't want to go back to Vegas?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to replan your 21 then.
Yeah. Can't go there for the 21st.
Can't go. Yeah.
So, yeah, me and Gavin both looked at each other when we walked in. We're like, hey, yo, like, this is not the vibe. And, yeah, we get up to the hotel. Gavin's like, I hate Vegas, dude. Like, I can't do this. It was very depressing and very dystopian and just creepy because you're just walking through fields of people just... It's like... It's weird. The hotel was nice.
Oh, okay.
Probably full of bodily fluids in the bed, but it was nice. It looked cool. It was a nice room.
No
Dude,
comment.
It's Vegas, man.
I mean, yeah, but you don't have to like say it. It's like an unspoken
saying,
like.
I guess. I'm just saying. Gavin, we get up to the room. Gavin goes, "Who brought the black light?" It's like, oh, this was funny. Oh. It was funny. So that was my trip. Got back the day of my girlfriend's birthday. I drove back at in the morning from Vegas, and then it was a good birthday. We went out to dinner, gave her presents. She liked it. It was fun. It was good. I'm glad I didn't miss it because of the dang canceled flight. It was good. And then my last encounter actually happened last night on the day of recording this. So I get friends. I get dinner with my friend.
I wish you had some friends.
Yeah, I wish I had some friends. I need more. If you
could
than
leave
one
my
friend.
house, that'd be great.
Yeah. I'll get out of here soon. Hopefully this podcast will take off and some people want to hang out with me.
Don't stream the podcast. Don't actually listen. Guys, I need to stay with me.
Oh,
he hasn't kissed me yet. That's the thing.
Okay, we're
what were
moving
you
on.
Gonna say? Okay.
So me and my friend Caleb, I'll say his name. Me and my friend got dinner at Chipotle, and we walk out. Everything's fine, And where our Chipotle is, it's a very crappy parking lot. Like very awkward, like tight. Like
it's like you have to make like 4 turns that aren't on the main street to like get into it.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
It's very bad, and there's maybe 20 parking spots for like 5 different restaurants. It's very bad. So it's a busy lot, and we're walking through. And we're on the curb area, like the rocks in the curb. Like we're not on the street. We're on like the sidewalk curb.
That's a thing everywhere, right? If that's not a thing everywhere,
so. We'll put a picture. It's like the sectioned off areas for like
cars
stones
do not
and trees.
go there.
Yeah, it's like the curb.
Yeah.
So we're walking on that, and we walk behind this truck that's backing out, and he has his lights on. We see him, but like. Homie would have to back over the curb and hit the tree 10 feet into the ditch to even get close to us. Like, we're not near his truck. We're behind it, but we're not walking on the road behind his truck and, like, squeezing through. And we're walking, and then I hear just, hey! And I look back, and this guy rolled down his window, and he's, like, hanging out the truck like this, and it's this old dude in his, his big Ford, whatever, neon Raptor, big boy truck. And he goes, I have my backup lights on, guys. Watch where you're going. And then me and Kayla both turn around. We're like, what the hell? And then I was just like, yeah. And then, brushed him off and then turned around. And then he goes, respect your elders. And then Kayla turns around and he's like, what? Because he didn't hear him. And he's like, you heard me. And then Kayla's like, no, I actually didn't. Like, what'd you say? And then this guy, he like, I think he opened his door. Like, yeah, he was
he's ready to fight.
Yeah, no, like he cracked his door open. He's like, if you guys weren't 18, I'd beat your ass right now. And then, yeah, like, okay.
Who says that?
Yeah, like, respectfully, this
It's
dude's
Chipotle
like,
parking lot.
I know, like, bro, this dude's 65. Like, go get some food, man. Like, relax.
Go take your vitamins.
Literally.
Like,
go, yeah, like, so that happens. I stop walking because I'm like, all right, what's about to happen?
this man's about to beat you up.
No, literally, Kaylor stops. I think he said something like, I'd like to see you try or something like that, or like, yeah, let's do something about it then. And then there was like a bunch of gibberish yelling. I started to walk away because I was like, all right, this guy's whatever.
He's gonna beat you up. You better
Yeah.
flee.
I was really scared. So I was walking away, so I just kind of heard them like whatever. And then I noticed he was in front of the Cold Stone. So after him and Kayla were done yelling at each other, I screamed, "Go get some ice cream, old man!" And then, which was funny. I thought it was funny.
It's kind of funny.
It's funny, and I know he heard me because he looked right at me.
Okay.
So he didn't say anything. And then me and Kayla coincidentally parked next to each other. We didn't get there at the same time, but we walked to our cars and we were both next to each other, which was funny. And he was like, "Bro, I'm gonna back out and drive by him and flip him off." And then he backs out and goes back around to where we were walking.
But the guy was still there?
Yeah, he was still like parking.
So was he getting there or leaving?
I don't know, because he was backing out, but then he got out of his car and like went into a place. Like he was like, I don't know if he was like readjusting from like parking in, but yeah, he was backing out. I don't know if he was just like
Yeah,
because he got out of his car and he like locked it when we left because he wasn't there.
So maybe he was getting some ice cream. He took your advice.
Maybe, yeah.
Of course.
He was like, I need to relax. Yeah, but Kayla and I drove back around. He wasn't there, unfortunately. His truck was still there, so I know he got out and it was locked. And yeah, it just seemed very funny that he was that mad about us walking 20 feet behind his truck.
Yeah, when it's not a place where he would be.
Like you'd think he'd just be like, those kids, idiots,
Yeah.
But this dude's
he's got places to be.
Yeah,
but
he's
he
got
has enough time to yell at you.
He's got ice cream to eat.
He's got some rocky road.
So that was that. That was funny. I wish he got out and tried to do something because he was. Well, dude, he's an old man. He's talking about beating our ass.
But like,
I'm just saying,
okay.
It would have been funny.
Would you have beat up this old man?
Dude, if he swung first.
I don't think that's the right response to have.
I'm just saying, man. He's talking all this talk. We walk behind him. I was like, because that's what I was just gonna be like, yeah. I was like, whatever. Walk off. You think he'd just be like, those idiots, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm right, whatever. And it's not a matter of right or wrong. Just like, dude, you're threatening to beat somebody up over walking behind your truck.
These 18-year-olds.
Yeah, these 18-year-old punks.
Rapscallions.
Yeah,
of course.
So it was just funny how mad people get. And I was like, okay, this dude's talking about beating our ass, and he can barely get out of his truck to go into Cold Stone. I'm just
It's just a statement of fact.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Wow. So take a complete 180 here.
Yeah, we're gonna switch.
Let's
it up
talk about double
bit.
vision.
Yeah.
Yes, we haven't been doing much of that right now.
Yeah, we need to. I'll let you handle this because I was just talking for a while.
Okay. So double vision. We're working on the '80s album right now, and by now we don't know how much is done. Hopefully, most of it. Hopefully, if not all of it.
Yeah, as of mid-February, when we're recording this, because we're recording in advance, for obvious reasons, it's halfway done right now.
So
and
we're a little.
We want it to come out in March.
Schedule.
We'd like it to come out in March.
So
right?
yeah, hold it. See if it's out in March.
Yeah.
If it is, then we hit our schedule. If it's not, then nothing has changed.
Yeah, we're still behind.
So, the thing is, I know a lot of people have done '80s albums. That's not an original thing. We're not claiming to be like we're the first duo to do an '80s album. Like we know it's not original, but, and I don't know if you've like had this idea before, but like I've always wanted to do something where it's like whatever project I'm working on, I want it to have like some sort of like lore behind it. Like some sort of like universe where all of this is taking place. Like, and this was like even before I did music, because I never made like music videos before double vision was a thing. But like I always wanted to be like, if I do work on stuff for like just whatever my film personal life is, like I want it to be like in a connected kind of universe where there are references to things where if you watch one video, you'd be like, oh, I remember that from that other video that I watched.
Everything sort of ties together and connects and is like, it's like universe building. It's just like world building, like sort of making a script for a movie. Yeah,
I think it's a lot more fun to watch someone when they have like a theme behind like everything
there's like
they do.
Easter eggs referring to other stuff. Like, sort of like this is a bad example because I don't know if you're on our TikTok, but The Weeknd, how he has sort of like a storyline, and like he's doing the trilogy with After Hours and Dawn FM. He has like a storyline. It's not just like, oh, here's my new album. It's like, this is the sequel. This is the next step in the story. It's kind of what we're doing. There's not really a story to ours. It's just like we're just establishing like characters and themes and elements.
Especially now because like this 80s album is very, it's closed. Like everything makes sense within the 80s album, but we want to make like Double Vision its own thing.
Yeah. And
like,
another artist that did this was Tory Lanez. He did an 80s album. But
oh, another one?
Yeah, another one.
Just missed it.
But yeah, no, he did an 80s album, and all his music videos are like sequels. Like the first one was establishing, the characters and the set and sort of the theme. The next one was like just the next step of if that first music video were to continue, it was the second music video. So there was like a storyline. I think he ended up doing like 3 or 4 that like made the whole story complete. But just like world building and like just making it more interesting than just music.
Yeah, because honestly, I think it's like a super fun idea to have because it's like not even just it's cool to have a universe that you have. It's like you're giving people a reason to want to watch everything else that you do because they want to see how it connects. Yeah. Even if it's something small, like with what we're doing, they're very small references that connect to other things. But it's like, oh, when you watch that video, it's like, oh, well that explains why this thing was the way that it was because it was from that other video, and without it, like it doesn't not make sense without it. But it's just cool to have the extra like context behind it.
And we haven't done nearly as much with the lore yet as we're going to do for the album. Like there's some stuff that ties in, like with Movin' and with did we do Lore and Stars?
Not necessarily.
Not really, yeah. Yeah, we're still kind of world building, at least with these singles. Like the album is gonna have a lot more lore, and then projects we do after that, we're gonna do projects basically based on this lore after the album is out. Like we have a couple like side projects we're thinking about doing. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
we got a lot of things in the lore.
We got a lot
of plans.
Yeah, but we have some basically lore based projects that we're gonna do in between music drops just to like do it and to build that world. But yeah, the album is gonna have a lot more lore than we've done so far.
And I mean, honestly, the fun part about it right now is since we're like just getting into it, we get to decide where everything goes.
Yeah, we're like
because like however far down the line, it'll be like, well, we can do this, but we kind of have to figure out how it connects to everything. But right now, it's like we can do whatever we want, as long as like there's like the tiniest bit that connects to something else.
Yeah,
because we can make it like pay off however far in the future.
Yeah, I want like projects in 2 years. I want them to be like, oh, this makes sense from 2 years ago.
Yeah, like oh, this thing from the '80s album makes sense in this
new project.
Next project that we're doing now. Like, dang, they really had this planned out.
Yeah. So yeah, we're kind of building a script more or less, but it's really just like Easter eggs and just like recurring themes.
Right now, we're just trying to like, it's the small things that come back.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn, that stopped real fast. I feel like we covered everything then.
We did.
If that's it.
Well, I mean, do you want to talk about specifics, like what we've done so far?
Why not?
Yeah,
because we got a couple things.
Everything's out right now.
Because I mean, it's very much small things. Like I feel like, especially with like Smithy's Radio.
Yeah, Smithy's Radio is part of the lore. That's why we have the mugs.
Yeah, of course, the Smithy's Radio mugs.
Smithy's Radio mugs. You'll see more of. You will have seen the real Smithy's Radio by the time this episode is out. Because we're the single Smithy's Radio were kind of ratchet.
I mean, they're very much like pilot episodes.
Yeah.
But the thing about them is
rough.
like for all of the singles that we've done so far, which has been 3 of them, at this point at least.
Yeah.
Like one of the days of promo was a thing called Smithy's Radio, which is like we're radio hosts and we're telling you about the newest drop from Double Vision.
Yeah, it's like an 80s themed radio show. Just basically 2 radio hosts talking like vintage feel. We got the same brick background.
Yeah, we have like a logo for it.
Yeah.
It's like
You'll see the real Smithy's Radio when the album is out, because we have to think about this like the album's already out. You know what Smithy's Radio is if you know what the album is. And yeah, that's world building. A recurring theme of Smithy was in Movin'. If you'll notice, the cassette tape says Smithy's Workout.
So yeah, it's not that it doesn't make sense. Like it's Smithy's. Like who's Smithy? It doesn't really matter in the context of the video. But if you know Smithy's Radio and you know like where we reference Smithy, then it shows up again, and it's like, oh, okay, now I kind of get how it's like a little universe thing.
Yeah, and yeah, obviously Smithy will be more incorporated into the album. And you guys know this, like it's weird for us because it's not out yet or even like talked about yet. But yeah, you guys know Smithy's. It's just like a recurring theme. Who is Smithy? The world will never know.
No, I don't.
Yeah, we don't know.
I
It's
don't know
just
who Smithy is.
Smithy is Smithy.
And that's not that we haven't planned it. It's just
No, we decided we don't know who it is.
Who is Smithy?
Yeah, no one will ever know. It's not. Yeah, it's not us not planning. We literally decided like no one's ever gonna know who Smithy is.
Smithy is.
Smithy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So that was a recurring theme. Double vision is kind of a recurring theme.
Because well, here's the thing that's difficult about our universe is that like we show up a lot.
Yeah.
Like we are double vision, like double in vision.
Yeah.
As double vision.
Yeah. My
But
name is Vision. His is double.
I'm
like,
double,
In
he's
the
Vision.
universe, in the universe, I am Vision. He's double, and together we're the band Double Vision. We are also. I think this is where you're going with this. Ryan Rainer, Noah Strikes.
Well, yeah, because Ryan Rain and Noah Strikes, they haven't really been. They're not in the universe yet. But
yeah,
like
they're not in
they
the universe.
exist in the universe as like the producers for Double Vision.
Yeah, they're like the execs behind Double Vision. They're like the corporate people that are making everything happen.
Which is kind of like our reasoning for why you see our names on like the credits.
Yeah.
Like directed by us on the music video.
Yeah.
Because that music video exists in the universe.
Yeah.
But also, we exist as the radio hosts for Smithy's
Yes.
Radio.
Radio hosts are unnamed. Are they? Or are we doing?
As of right now, they don't have names
Okay.
because it's not super relevant. They're just the Smithy's Radio hosts.
Okay.
Which, I mean, that's the thing what's so confusing about, like, us. We don't want to give us too much to do.
Yeah.
Because it can be very confusing unless they have, like, very specific features that make them, like, notable as characters. Which is why, like, Ryan Rain and Noah Strikes will probably never show up in an actual, like, video.
Yeah. No,
Because
it's
it's just so
exclusively Double and
confusing.
Vision. We play a lot of roles. We're the execs making it happen, we're the stars, and we're the radio hosts.
So if you're watching a Double Vision video, there's a good chance we are playing Double Vision.
Yeah.
Because
And
it'd
not
just be
we're
way
not
too
Ryan
confusing
Rainer,
without
Noah
it.
Strikes. Ryan Rainer, Noah Strikes are not the stars of the show.
Yeah.
And like you said, the Smithy's radio hosts are just Smithy's radio hosts. There's no lore, there's no naming, there's no persona. It's just we're the
They're
hosts.
just some radio hosts talking
Yeah.
about the up-and-coming band Double Vision.
Yeah. So it's a little confusing, but once we sort of establish it more and, like you said, get those features,
Yeah, hopefully
like,
it gets a little
yeah.
more like clear
you
with
get to know who is
who is who.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's fun also because like we have our friends who are nice enough to agree to be in our videos.
Yeah.
And so it'll be cool to like bring them back on future projects if they're like willing
Yeah.
to and be like, oh, these are the same characters that we've seen in these old videos that are like
Right.
they're still playing the same character.
Yeah. Like
And
the
I think that's
moving,
cool.
the moving extra characters, Gizmo, Gadget, and
Gizmo,
Sandra
Gadget, Sandra.
will be recurring characters in this.
Hopefully, if
yeah.
they're nice enough to agree to come back.
Yeah.
Because
in this Double Vision universe. So yeah, just fun world building, kind of, extra marketing, and it's just fun.
trying to have a little universe where we can like promote ourselves without just being like listen to our songs.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see that. I'm trying to when I write songs and when I make these kinds of things and I plan these kinds of things, like I want to do something where I'd see it and I'd be like, oh, that's a cool idea that they're doing. I kind of want to look more into this.
Yeah.
I don't care to see someone say my song's coming out tonight. Listen to it. Like pre-save it, whatever. Like I want to see like cool stuff.
Especially because it's 80s themed, we can do so much cool stuff like with that.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of why I'm scared to do our real music. Is
It's just
because
harder to-
It's harder to like be creative with it.
Yeah, because like 80s, it's very you can do 80s.
Yeah, we can do 80s trends. We do the 80s, radio theme and like the style of music for the jingle, and the logo is vintage looking, and we kind of. I think we haven't done this since the first one, but in the first one we had some 80s references, like just
like
things
rotary
that were,
phones
Yeah,
and-
rotary phones. Yeah, so it's just like if you say get your rotary phones ready because we're gonna be playing you the next single if you call in, and then that next single is our song that we're promoting. It's just like a different way of promoting it.
And so, like, yeah, it's cool to be able to start everything now, but it's hard because there's so many directions we can go with it.
Yeah.
That it's, like, hard to establish what is, like, the thing.
Yeah.
I think that's everything.
Yeah.
I think we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
And I think we kind
It's
of
a good first episode, just establishing and kind of giving some fun personal
So, yeah,
talk.
we hope you enjoyed our little break from the album.
Yeah.
And also just talking about the lore because it can be a little confusing right now.
Yeah,
With
we're
how
trying to
open-ended
establish
everything
that
is.
there is indeed lore, and you should pay attention to it because it can all connect and be
If
cool.
something seems out of place, it probably isn't.
Yeah.
There's probably
No,
a very
we're
good
planning
reason that we put stuff in
everything
there.
and everything with this. There's no mistakes.
Well,
Well,
have you heard Stars?
okay.
No?
Is this the recurring theme that Stars is bad?
I have very strong opinions about stars,
Okay.
but I'll save it for the next episode.
Okay.
So I'm Ryan Rain.
And I'm Noah Strikes.
And I'm
not
also
double
double.
vision.
Oh, we're not double vision.
Well, in this we're not. Yeah, we're not double vision in this show.
This is not in the universe.
This is not in the universe.
I am Ryan Rain.
I am Noah Strikes.
You're Noah Strikes?
I think so.
Okay, I'm Ryan Rain then.
Okay.
Okay. And we are double vision, and this has been double
Double
tie.
tie.